Another night on your favorite show on KTV2, The Untold, where we share very interesting and inspiring stories with a lot of people. I'm here joined by ALMazeedi, and I'm the other host, essentially.
Right, the other host. I want to clarify favorite talk show
on
of KTV2.
Yes,
because we have other favorite shows on KTV2.
Yeah, fair enough. But this is mine.
This is yours, yes.
Fair.
Yes, fair.
How are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
All good. Today is different. Have we ever had someone...
I don't think we had the pleasure of talking to someone of the caliber of the guest we have today. An interpreter with so much experience, having so many different jobs in his life, moving from one place to the other. And I'm always excited or interested to learn more about interpreting. Because I feel like something I want to try.
It's actually very, very
It is very hard, but I always, when I'm in the middle of conversation, I feel like I'm translating in my head. So I feel like it's something I could try doing in the future.
Imagine being on spot, though. You know, there's this,
that's the...
Someone presenting something, you're having to translate it on spot in a different language.
Yep.
Must be very difficult.
It is very, very difficult.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's welcome our guest right after this.
We're back to welcome our special guest today, Dr Adnan Mahrez. It's such a pleasure to have you on board. I don't think we've actually met someone in your... Have we met someone in the field before?
No,
similar to Doctor?
I don't think so, yeah.
So welcome to this...
Welcome on the show.
To this family, as we say.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
So, Doctor...
I'm so glad to be in this.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Perhaps, Doctor, we'd like to start with a very broad question. Who are you as a person, and what's your story? I know, mashallah, you can have a long story, but long story short, if I was to ask you, what's your story and what do you want to focus on, like, what would you say?
My career started. The most important thing is to talk about career, I think.
Of course, I mean, fair.
Let's start with how you started your career. What made you choose this career path?
Yeah, that's right. I started after graduation. I graduated from Damascus University. I studied English literature.
Okay.
Nice.
After that, I taught at the university there in Damascus for 8 years.
Mashallah.
I taught English language.
Okay.
Amazing.
Then I had the opportunity to join the external committee and to be a translator and interpreter at that time. It's in 1978 I started translation.
And interpreting.
And interpretation,
Okay.
With delegation that visited Damascus and making some, activities there and events like conferences and, forums and.
Nice.
So after that, I had the opportunity to come to Kuwait. Before I went to London, I tried to join MBC.
Nice.
I worked there for 1 week, but unfortunately, because I couldn't get the work permit, so I left. Before that, I signed a contract with the Ministry of Education in Kuwait.
Nice.
I came here as a teacher.
And you taught English?
I taught English for 1 year.
1 year? What level?
Secondary.
Okay.
Yeah. And after that, I joined KOC.
Oh, okay.
So
as an interpreter there.
Interpreter and journalist.
Journalist.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
amazing.
I worked there. We published at that time Kuwaiti magazine and KOC News, English and Arabic.
Nice. Okay.
And Kuwaiti Digest in English.
Kuwaiti Digest.
So you've worked on all these?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, wow, you're linguistic in one part and a journalist in the other. Right?
Yeah, I missed something before I came here. Also, while I was teaching in Damascus,
right?
I used to be a correspondent for Al Dayar newspaper, and I worked for also Syria News. It's in English.
All right.
Yeah, as investigative reports and articles like that. Then this is an incentive. When I came here, and I read an announcement asking for an interpreter and translator and journalist.
And you're like interested, okay.
Yeah, I had experience, so I joined KOC For 4 years, I worked there.
Nice.
And then I left and worked later with Kuwait Times for 1 year.
1 year.
Then I worked with the Siyasi Al-Hadaf.
So you're talking, Michelle, you've had a long...
Yeah, you're like moving from one part to the other,
You've had tremendous
advancing
experience.
in life, really.
Yeah.
Hiring, you're getting higher and higher in your field. Does that come from a place of curiosity or improving yourself? Why do you keep jumping between these places, you think?
Well, this is a paradox.
The paradox, right? It's a paradox.
Now, the conclusion I came to that there is no choice in life.
There's no choice in life.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's a big statement.
What do you mean? So if you can elaborate, what do you mean?
all these things I didn't choose. I
It
didn't
happened
choose
to
to
you.
be. Yeah,
The
that happened
opportunity
to be.
presented itself to you.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity. They knock the door and you open the door. So
Yeah, that's it.
okay.
Yeah, because at the beginning, my intention was to continue my higher studies.
Okay.
Right.
When I came here, I was only bachelor in English.
You only had a bachelor's in English. Okay.
So
when
here,
did you take the step for master's?
Yeah, I took the step later and I joined a university in Bucharest, Romania.
Romania.
Yeah, and I
Nice.
studied
Okay,
for
so you've
6
literally
years.
been.
Yeah. Can I ask why specifically Romania?
Yeah, that's good.
The opportunity again?
Opportunity and economic study,
Okay.
you know?
I see.
Okay.
I see.
Because at that time, Romania it was still in the socialist camp.
Right.
Oh.
And,
okay.
it was very cheap to study there. So
Very
the fees,
affordable. Yeah.
Yeah, at that time, only $300.
Wow.
For 1 year.
For 1 year, not even
That's
a tuition.
actually,
Not even
that's a
semester,
bargain.
A whole year.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
amazing.
bargain.
Now it is
Free education.
6,000 or 7,000.
So it's inflation.
Yeah.
So actually, can I ask? I want to go back for the people that don't know. What is an interpreter? What do you do? If you can tell me what the job is.
Well, this is a big question, really, being an interpreter. Yeah. First, I came in a stage as a translator.
Yeah.
After I developed my English language, I start to be an interpreter.
Okay.
Interpreter in the meaning that spontaneous translation,
On the spot.
Yeah.
So you hear something and you say something.
That's right.
You know how much skill that needs?
It is very challenging.
Honestly.
But I feel like I want to try it someday. I want to interpret for people.
But I just find it shocking. So which language are you hearing? Are you hearing English, Arabic, what language? Because you're hearing one language and translating in English, or the opposite?
That was both of them.
Both.
So you're hearing,
you
do both.
So when you
here,
started, it was Arabic, listening, and saying English.
Yeah, that's right.
Or the other way around.
English or
Because
the
you're
other way
interpreting
around.
for two people trying to have a conversation
Wow.
that they don't know the language of each other.
So-
You're the messenger, basically.
That's honestly. So tell us more about it. So you're sitting there, you're hearing someone talk. They're saying something in English or Arabic, and how does it happen instantly that you just find the word? What if you can't? What if it's a field you don't know? What if they're talking about I don't know,
something
science?
scientific.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes you have to manage it.
Manage it.
You find a way to,
To get
replace-
the idea
yeah,
across.
Yeah, that's it. But always try not to lose the meaning. Okay, you
That's
can
the thing,
have
yeah.
a substitute, you can change idea a little bit, but don't make the meaning lost.
Right.
Lost mean, I think this is another question will come.
No, I'm sure. No, because I've met one interpreter in my life. I have rarely ever met one other, and I've always been so curious. Like, it just requires a great deal. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like being on live TV. So it's like there's no chance. Like, is there a chance for error? What if we make a mistake?
You have to concentrate.
A
That's
lot.
why it's a very difficult job, and you need too much concentration. Otherwise, you have to listen, okay, and think how to make
On the spot.
to
Think
convey
on the spot.
to convey the meaning,
Yeah.
and prepare your hearing for the next sentence. And especially when some people delivering speech, is going
And you're live
as
translating
fast,
as they
a
go.
bullet, sometimes.
And he's very fast. Exactly. What
Yeah.
happens if they're fast? I mean, I can't keep up.
Yeah, that's it. So
It's like you guys have the ability to slow down their speech and say it as fast as they are almost
Yeah.
by like a word behind. It's such a skill. But do you interpret in 3 languages Or just English and Arabic?
No, two languages.
Two languages.
Yeah.
English and
Arabic. Or the other way around, Arabic, English.
Okay, so you haven't ventured into Spanish and French interpreting?
No.
No, okay, that's...
because it needs too much training.
So now you're focused on English and Arabic.
Focus on English and Arabic.
Vocabulary.
Yeah, the vocabulary.
So which one is more challenging? English to Arabic or Arabic to English? I'm curious.
Sometimes Arabic to English is more difficult.
Because to be honest, if someone speaks Arabic, for me, I think Arabic to English to me, it would be English to Arabic would actually be difficult. So hearing English is having to speak Arabic for me would be very, very hard.
I think you're overcomplicating it for yourself.
I think, do you think? I think it makes a difference.
Most interpreters prefer to hear English and translate into Arabic,
Okay.
Because easier. But Arabic, you have to find, sometimes the equivalent and other meanings, you see.
Okay, let's imagine you have a session today that you have to do an interpretation session. Is there a certain preparation that you have to do for that session beforehand? Because you said earlier that you have to prepare, it's to focus on the sentence and what's coming and so on. But is there a certain form of preparation?
Actually, it depends. If we have the chance to get the materials,
that'd be great.
Yeah, if it was a written speech,
written speech, you can read it.
Right.
Yeah, or talk to somebody what it's about and get some, headlines. It is easier, but sometimes you don't have the chance. Someone is delivering a speech, someone is talking, and you have to translate immediately. And this is more difficult, of course.
Are you given time to prepare, or is it something on the spot? We have a speech. Is it ever emergency speeches, or is it something that's pre-planned? It's listen, we have a speech coming. We don't have the material, but we have a speech coming.
Yeah, speech is coming, and you have to translate.
Okay.
I think last week there was the Arab Summit.
Okay. Nice.
And many, words delivered.
Okay.
And many speeches.
Were you working that?
I came here to the news studio. I translated some
parts of it. Okay.
So what? This is a very simple question, but I'm just for the viewers as well, and myself.
What is your simple question?
So translation versus interpretation what's the simple difference between them?
Yeah.
This is very difficult, of course, and you can use the term lost translation in the field of poetry.
Okay.
And verse.
Lost in translation.
Lost in translation.
And literary subjects, because there are some images, there are emotion.
That you cannot convey.
You can't convey easily unless you have to understand and be bicultural.
Right. Not just bilingual, but bicultural. Because there are some certain words, nuances, accents, dialects, slang. You need to be aware of all of that to convey the right message.
Not only this, the culture itself.
The culture itself.
For instance, we in the Arab world, or some countries in the world, if we like to compare the face of a beloved or a very beautiful one, you can tell him he's like the moon.
Right.
But if you do this in
English doesn't make sense.
That's a bit. It's weird. It
is weird.
Yeah.
That's actually a fair point, to be honest. When you use, I think, is it slang? It's not slang, is it? It's metaphors, perhaps metaphors.
Metaphors. Yeah.
And I think the metaphors change, especially us Arabs. I think we're very expressive. When you say someone, you're like the moon, and it's a bit weird.
Arabic is such a deep language. The vocabulary, we have a lot of words, more than many languages in the world. So it is difficult to translate Arabic into anything, let alone interpreting live, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. Yeah, all right, we have way more questions. We're just going to take a very quick break and be right back with you, Doctor.
Okay.
We're back from the break, continuing this conversation with Dr. Adnan. Thank you for coming on the show again. I'm going to give you this opportunity because I believe you have a funny story to share, right? So let's start the second part of the show with your funny story.
Well, in translation, sometimes you come about some stances, you know.
Okay.
It is difficult to manage at the very moment. One time in Damascus, we were translating in a conference. I remember it was about world peace. There was an organization at that time. It is,
how long ago was this?
35 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before we were alive.
It was Peace Council, World Peace Council.
World Peace Council.
It held a conference in Damascus.
Okay.
The second day, an explosion took place in Al-Quds.
Oh.
Okay.
And they aimed at that time Bassam al-Shaqqa, who was the mayor of Al-Quds. And what happens that his 2 legs cut off because of the explosion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate.
So the head of the conference took this opportunity and say, it's very sad to hear this news, and we tell Bassam al-Shaqqa, if you lost your legs, we are your legs. So how
do you translate that?
Yeah, this is in Arabic.
You laughed before the joke. Wait.
Yeah.
You left too early.
I'm just imagining what's coming.
Yeah, so according to us, you know, in Arabic culture, if you say where your legs and horizontal, it's not that.
It's not the same.
Acceptable.
So what do you do then?
So how did you translate or interpret that to them?
We start to say we are your legs. Then I stopped immediately. Then I said, if you lose your legs,
we'll carry you.
Yeah, we will be your help, your
support,
your aid, your support.
Because
it's kind of funny
so
with
we
Arabic
avoid
how we use this. Yeah, interesting. So you had a sad that turned into a funny story. Okay.
What other experiences can you tell us about? From
funny,
more situations,
but not necessarily funny. I mean, honestly, because again, it's a challenging job that you have, honestly. And is it true that you have to work in 4-hour shift only? You cannot work for longer. Am I right?
Interpreter,
yeah.
No more than 45 minutes.
45 minutes, exactly.
Wow.
So did you know this?
45 minutes.
Yeah, this is maximum.
Because of all the mental effort you're putting in.
That's
it is genuinely very hectic.
Too much
it is. 45 minutes of continuous concentration, translating, interpreting back and forth. 45 minutes. I feel like it feels like longer.
Does it? Because obviously, so you have a tremendous ability to listen, to things. Does it actually improve your listening in general and other things in life?
It makes you a good listener and social and
and even like the sense, because usually they say that if you practice one of the senses more, it becomes stronger. Obviously, it's like a muscle. So did your listening muscle, let's just call it, improve?
Yeah, this is in nature. We used to listen since we are
in the womb.
Yes. Okay, but to learn a language, there are 4 things you have to do. You have to train your ears to listening, your hand to writing, your memory to keep and
absorb,
and what else? Your tongue to talk. This is very important tracks. In each language you have to master these 4 things.
Now, how serious do they stick to the 45-minute time limit? Have you ever gone over 45 minutes?
Yeah, sure. Many times.
So,
So you can't. So what's the? It's not about how long can people go?
Look, it depends on the conference or on the activity
itself.
It's
actually simple.
It is very important and sensitive.
Right.
You have to.
Do you remember the longest session you've had?
No, not really.
But it's been over an hour.
Yeah,
definitely over an hour. That's
right.
A lot of hard work.
In conferences, and forums, that's it.
You speak 2 other languages, which are
Spanish
and French.
Yeah.
Perhaps a lot of people are always interested in learning languages, but they say we cannot learn them at a later age. You know what I mean?
There is some truth to it, right? Learning a language as an adult is different as a child.
Of course.
And we have this famous saying.
I don't know it.
Yes.
Learning while you are young.
Yes.
Like engraving on a stone.
The stone.
So you never forget.
You'll never forget it.
But the other, when you are getting old, when you learn,
it's like engraving on water.
On water or on mud.
That's actually interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Really?
Ahmad's winning today.
Recently I learned Spanish. Actually, if I stop practicing, I forget.
Right.
French, sorry, Spanish. French, I learned it 20 years ago.
Oh,
Still,
wow.
but
Practicing.
English, 40 years ago, it is
English wins. English wins.
English wins. What about Spanish?
Spanish recently, I'm learning since 2 years.
What made you want to learn Spanish at such a late age in life? You know, such a later age in life, stage in life.
You know, I got married to a lady from Venezuela.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Originated, yeah.
All right.
And I have to go to Venezuela.
You gotta communicate.
To Spain,
okay.
Communicate.
I respect that.
What
Learning your spouse's language, I respect that.
Yeah, honestly.
That's a lot of work.
But
especially if your wife
is
and
speaking
her
that
family, you have to know what they are talking about you. They all speak about Spanish in you.
That's funny. That is funny.
Are you ever in a situation where, you know, like you're sitting in a circle and someone is speaking French and they think you don't know French? And you're like, I understand you, but I'm pretending I don't understand you. You know, I wish I can be in that situation. You know.
Have you ever faced that situation? Yeah.
Happened to me. Yeah.
Oh wow.
With a man with his son and daughter. His son and daughter, they study French, but he, as an old man, while the occupation, the French occupation, he learned, you know, during that time.
Yeah.
So he's fluent too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the three, they are talking, and they talked about me. So I kept silent.
Were you sitting with them?
Yeah, we were in the bus.
Okay. Okay.
They want me to be far in the other seat.
And they said that in French.
Yeah, they start between themselves. If this man is go that way, like that,
okay,
you see.
Okay.
So I kept silent.
You kept silent.
Yeah. So in the end, do you want me to leave? They look like that. So
oh no, that's so embarrassing for them.
We are sorry. Then we became a friend all the way around.
Oh wow.
That's actually so embarrassing.
It's a great story too.
I wish, because a lot of
always be careful of who's around you.
Yeah.
What they can speak.
Yeah.
And always be nice to people.
I literally went to the UK and met a guy from England, and I was talking to him, and he comes to me, he's like, "أنا أتكلم العربية." I'm like, what?
What was your response?
I was like,
أنا أيضا.
I was like, well, first of all, that's very classical,
it's very
classical. Formal.
I don't speak that Arabic anymore.
Yeah, once I was in London, and there was a homeless.
Yeah.
All right.
A beggar. They came to tell me, "Sir, I am homeless. I have no food. I have nothing to put on. 3 days now, I didn't eat anything. He gave me a lump.
You would have died with 3 days.
Yeah, he wants money.
Yeah.
So I look like that. Then I told him, I don't understand English.
How you said that in English though?
Yeah.
Doctor, you like to have a lot of fun with people.
And you left.
He left, not me.
He left.
All right, doctor. A question. You're someone that's definitely very like.
He's quite the character, doctor.
You have a lovely character. I like it, and
you're
someone that likes to learn a lot. You're very curious in life. Were you the same person when you were like young, way younger, like before even university? If you can go back even to those
teenage
days.
years, childhood, were you this curious about life and learning?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
I used to read a lot.
Okay, so
that would make sense.
I also wrote, and I was a correspondent for many newspaper and journals,
right.
like ALMazeedi, this is Lebanese, and Somer, you know, LDR, Al-Nahar, Lebanese also.
Al-Nahar, I know Al-Nahar.
You know?
More of Al-Qabas wal-Rai, you know.
But when I came here to Kuwait, I wrote for a lot of newspapers and magazines in the area, I mean in the Gulf and in the Arab world.
So you're a published writer all over.
Yeah, I have at least, I think, 11 stories published in Al-Arabi.
Wow.
And to publish your story in Al-Arabi is something, you know, very important.
It is very important.
Yeah.
It is.
So is it true that you wrote a book as well?
Yeah, I wrote 5 books.
5 books?
Correction, Hussein.
5 books? That's very impressive. And so when was the first one?
It is in 1995 when I came here to Kuwait.
I was born there.
Yeah, I started.
We were born that year.
You were not born.
We were born that year.
I was born
that year. Really?
Yeah.
October. So I don't know if you published it before.
So I congratulate you. You are still young now.
Okay, so you wrote the first book in '95. What was it about?
Then I wrote a book about agriculture in Kuwait.
Agriculture in Kuwait.
Yeah, I used to be an editor of an agricultural magazine.
Okay.
This is a book in Arabic or English?
Yeah,
Arabic.
this is the first book about agriculture.
Wow.
In Kuwait, it is 250 pages. It includes, livestock and agriculture, honey and bees.
Okay.
And all establishments and, areas.
It's amazing that you took that topic to write about,
because
given your background.
Yeah, because my job is an editor of
so you had the knowledge.
Hamad magazine, which is...
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And the other 4 books, if we can briefly touch on them.
Yeah, the other book is about the role of mass media in development.
Oh, wow.
I found that economic media in the Arab world is very late compared with the Western media, economic media. It came here after 70 or 80 years. They start to talk and publish magazines about economy. So I took the subject and start to talk about economic media, especially in the Arab world.
Right.
So you shifted from agriculture to economics media. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mass communication.
Yeah, we finished with that.
Yeah, I mean, I know because I always find it interesting how you're jumping from topic. I mean, obviously agriculture.
At that time, I was working in Al-Qabasi newspaper.
So it's really wherever his field is, he gets inspired to write something.
Yeah, and you have the chance also.
You have the chance of the
resources
and facilities
are available.
And all that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Are all the books in Arabic, the ones you published? Yeah. Okay.
Recent
one thought about an English book?
I have one, it's finished, but not yet published.
All right, what's that about?
It is about journalism, Arab journalism.
Wow.
And unfortunately, the sources I took, the information about Arab media is from the Western, sources.
Because they're the authenticated sources, I guess, in the world.
About us, but in the Arab,
we don't have that many,
books, we don't have these things.
Well, it's a good thing you're making the book to showcase what the Arab world has in terms of journalism. Yeah. So that is amazing that you're trying to cover that in your next book. Do we know when it might come out?
Recently, I make a novel.
End of the year?
Yeah.
So hopefully at the end of the year, the book comes out. Do you have a title?
No, it's already.
It's already?
Yeah.
Oh, it is out.
Okay.
4 months ago, I published it. And now it's in the... in the malls and
what is it called?
Zallatu Dhikra.
Zallatu Dhikra. But I thought the book was in English.
No, it's in Arabic.
It's in Arabic, okay. All right.
You can tell from the word Zalla.
Yeah, of course.
Zallat Dhikra. Because, I talk about the influence and reflection of the, 10 years of war in Syria.
Right.
The society, and the people and as a whole.
Wow.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think this episode doesn't do it justice to your career and the experience you've had. We've had lots to talk about, and I feel like you have more to say. So maybe a future episode where we explore different parts of your life. But thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. If you have one last, perhaps, advice from your long experience in life, if you can give us one advice that people can take on board, whether it's about interpretation, reading,
I like
life.
What you said, no choices in life, but
I'll
I'll leave it for you.
If you have one piece of advice.
To one of the poets, the English poets, when he was 18 years, he said, I am the master of myself, okay, and the owner of my fate.
Okay.
Then, and when he was 23, he said, I'm sorry, it's not true.
It's not true.
Yeah. Fair.
So really, there are many things in life. You can't choose. Okay. Sometimes you find.
Yeah.
And I tend to agree with you with the way my life is going too.
Well, thank you so much.
Again
honestly, thank you so much.
It's
a pleasure.
We'll be back for the wrap up right after this. Wow. That half hour was not enough with this man,
absolutely.
This episode is
it flowed very naturally.
So condensed
I like it.
with the information he had.
Yeah.
I feel like he had more stories to share.
He did.
Funny stories to share even more. And his story was kind of like he got me in the beginning. I was like, this is a sad story. Where is it going? Then I got the...
No, definitely. He's definitely someone that's worked very hard on himself. He's doing something that's very difficult. I can't believe it's 45 minutes, though, the cap for the...
The cap is 45 minutes, but as you can as he attested, they don't stick to it sometimes. So it goes over time.
I'm not surprised though, to be honest. I mean, thinking about it, imagine spending 45 minutes really focused on something.
Yeah.
I mean, we barely focus for, I mean, the attention span is way lower than that. So having to force it, to extend it to 45 minutes or 60 minutes.
Part of the job.
It's ridiculously
and
hard.
He excelled at it.
Absolutely.
New book on the way or out. I was confused on that part. But
good luck.
There's a new book. And good luck to you. And join us next time for more amazing stories to tell right here with this beautiful person, Hussein Ajouz.
Thank you so much.
And this guy.
I'm not going to give it back to you.
We'll see you in the next one. Good night.